it's your boy Alpha Midas, Jody here. This is coming like straight coming back from the Nintendo Switch experience. I know I believe it's been like 3 days since I've came back. Yeah. And I just want to start off with, first, thank you Nintendo for the opportunity. It was really cool. It was nice. Y'all treated everybody incredibly. Um, so thank you for that time to allow us to review and everything like that. Uh, so getting everything out the way first. Metroid. I am extremely biased when it goes to Metroid. I've played Metroids since the start. I'm a huge Samus fan, huge Metroid fan. So playing Metroid Prime, finally getting my hands on it. It was incredible, and I feel like I've waited 15 years. 30 now, so I think even longer than that. But Metroid Prime felt incredible. I love the dialogue between her and the Galactic Federation. The boss fight was extremely cool. They let us do. The only issue I had, and I spoke to one of the representatives who said they was getting a lot of feedback for it, was so in Metroid Prime you have this mode where you could target the main enemies. And once you target them, it locks right on them. And you can use the mouse, the new Joy-Con mouse, to freely aim your arm. Really good, really cool. Um, and then once you kill it, you can charge up, take the missiles, take whatever it drops. So really nice one-on-one thing. But as soon as you kill it and the target mode was hooked off and there's no other targets around, that mouse would go buddy smoke and then real weird. So we summed that up to sensitivity, but they said they'll take a look at it. Love that feedback. I was like, oh, okay. But first game they did allow me to play once we entered in there was Mario Kart. Uh, Mario Kart was easily the greatest version of Mario Kart I've ever played. Um, the courses was pretty long. The load times, I kid you not, maybe at best it was maybe 2 minutes. And that's just going from you pick your character, you vote for the stage, and once everybody else voted for the World Tour mode or World mode, uh, boots you right up into the game. And even if they're not ready, you can play the whole free lookout mode, which allowed me to drive all over the Mushroom Kingdom. Well, all over the Mario Kart universe. I don't want to say Mushroom Kingdom because that's where I started, and then I ended up somewhere in like driving around Candy and donuts in the background, like really wild. Uh, so Mario Kart was fun. They also let my wife play it, and she knocked me out of the knockout race, which broke my heart. But I got to watch her make it from because I was hey 16 for a hot minute. I was bombarded with items. Next thing I know, she was in eighth place. She was doing extremely good, and they finally knocked her out. Uh, but Mario Kart overall solid 10 out of 10. The music was fire. The controls was smooth. They let us play with the puppy, the Joy-Con and the grip. They let us play with the Pro Controller, and then they let us play with the Switch 2 by itself. Um, so after that had happened, we then after we both was knocked out, they let us go into this other room, and they was like, yeah, just feel free to do this. You have a couple hours, just have fun. We go into the next room, and once we get in there, the very first game I see on the left, Hades 2. Now your boy really loves Hades part 1. Um was I good at it? I was just okay. I have to be taught how to be better in it, and that's what then it peaked. But I'm playing Hades 2, and the person's like, yeah, usually people got 30 minutes on it, they get stuck on in this area here. Flew through that area. I'm like, yo, this is good. So part 1, the main character was Zag. This one, I know they said the main character is like the princess of hell or the princess of the underworld. Um, Smooth, real extremely smooth gameplay. So I have Hades 1 on the Switch, and I also have Hades 1 on the PS5. Hades 1 on the Switch, once there's a lot of characters on the screen, like multiple enemies, or even if you fight Thanatos and the rival battles, uh the Switch the Switch could barely handle it, while the PS5 was smooth. So on the Switch 2, Hades 2, enemies was being bombarded. There was this part where I think it was a druid. She stops and she just throwing plant enemies at you, and just free enemies coming at you left and right. That game just was running solid. Just I can't remember if she said it was 60 or 120 frames, but no drops, no nothing. It was so nice. Uh, so with that being said, we get to the next game I played, which is the clip being shown. The clip I'm showing currently is on the PS5. Uh, I was barely able to get a lot of footage of the Street Fighter Five. I'm sorry, Street Fighter Six. Street Fighter Six on the Switch too, because it was a lot of people running at it. But as soon as it started, I can tell it was one on one. There was no lag, there was no delay, there was no frame rate drop. But it is a fighting game. There's not a lot happening really. The backgrounds was clear, but something was extremely different. So let me get to the first fight. I fought a Bison, who I beat, but I was messing with the controls. I was mainly worried about what the Pro controller could do. I was like, you know what, the Pro controller on the Switch is really good. Let me check this one out and actually play with it. So I was doing really precise inputs to just double check everything. And for the most part, it still felt like I was playing the Street Fighter 6 on the PS5. And I have a PS5 Pro, I have a PS5, and I have an Xbox. But anyway, it felt just as good. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be nice. I'm really loving it. But there was an extra mode that I guess is Switch 2 exclusive, and you take the Joy-Cons and you kind of like, well, you take the Joy-Cons or the controller, whichever way you're playing, and kind of like shake it, and it counts the calories you lose and everything else. It's really Nintendo, and it's extremely fun. And you watch the characters you pick battle it out. So I had Luke, the other guy had Cammy, and he just was doing these off the wall combos on each other as we're like real shaking these controllers. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Like, I have the Fist of the North Star little workout thing on the Switch, and I have another boxing one on the Switch, which is extremely fun. But yeah, it gave Street Fighter this like, you remember how Street Fighter 4 had that first person mode, and I don't know if a lot of y'all played with it that much, but it was just a fun mode to have. It was a nice extra feature. That's how this felt. It was really cool. So from Street Fighter, my wife came back to me and she was like, "They let me walk around the floor. I found Metroid Prime 4." We put Street Fighter down. We ran to Metroid Prime 4. I then had to wait in a pretty long line. Um, but once the line died down, and I've seen everybody's face. I was watching everybody's point of view, and like a lot of people, which kind of broke my heart. There was like, yeah, I've never played a Metroid Prime, but this game is real nice. Somebody, huge Xbox fan, which was there, that was kind of funny. He was like, yeah, you can tell where Halo came from when you play this. I was like, huh? And he's like, first person shooter and blah blah blah. Real interesting input. Uh, but I finally get on it, and I kid you not, they give me the Pro controller, and at first I'm moving around. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's Metroid Prime. Samus's theme starts. I'm going around. I'm taking out these pirates. I'm fighting some other enemies, and the whole entire time, I feel like a full badass. I love Metroid Other M. I know people hate it because of the story, but Samus felt like a badass, which she should feel like. And in this game, I kid you not, y'all, you dash back. You could hear the people talking about. They're like, oh my, no, they're like, oh my goodness. So this is Samus. She really is something. This bounty hunter's incredible. I'm like, yo, let's go. Anyway, knocking that out the way. I'm not gonna give a full review on Metro Prime for y'all. I can't because how much I love the series. So I'm gonna leave that alone. Um, so from there, I went and played Yakuza Zero, which has English audio, so that already threw me off. Every Yakuza I think I've played on the PlayStation 4 or 5, Xbox. Um, I always remember them speaking Japanese. But the dialogue was cool. Um, I've never played Yakuza Zero till this, so I'm not too sure how the story goes. But Mijima was fighting some dude, and well, some dude was fighting Mijima, and he's doing the best he can to hit him, and Mijima's kind of like just joking him. He's like, "Yeah, this stop." So finally, you do this little bonus thing, and Mijima hands him a napkin, and he's like, "Look, you're a rich dude. We ain't gonna tell nobody about this to hurt your status, but to help us out and you out, why not you buy everybody drinks tonight?" But he ended up doing it. Really cool concept, really cool part. I just know Mishima as the mad dog and do with a knife with an eye patch. He's real aggressive. Uh, so just seeing that different take on him, they did tell me it's a prequel. So just seeing that take on him, love. I'm like, this is nice. So let me play with Kiryu. But again, I don't play Yakuza like that, so I don't want to get too involved and tell y'all the wrong information. But Kiryu with a little clean fade, he was looking kind of nice. Uh, so that was what Yakuza Zero. We played Cyberpunk. This was my first time ever playing Cyberpunk. I don't have it on any other system. So my input there was it was a nice experience. Um, I did hear Cyberpunk was multiplayer, but I'm not too sure. They only allowed me to play some of the solo, some of the story, which I totally got lost and end up exploring like water, like this ocean. I was doing the most, but it was really cool. So that's the Yakuza Zero. That's Mario Kart, Metroid. Let me see. Oh, they let us play around with Mario Party now, but I'll get into a bigger video later explaining that. Give me one sec. One sec. To get to the final part of this video, and then I'll let the clips play. Uh, so one of the coolest parts is they let us go play Donkey Kong, and I kid you not, after opening up Donkey Kong, you felt strong. You felt like how DK should. Like you're breaking the ground. You're bomb rushing through this world. It was nuts. I was like, this is the DK I kind of always want. Playing DK 64, I was a little too young. Playing this DK, you felt like a powerhouse stuck in the Mario universe, and you're just plowing your way through it. It was real good. The exploration was nice. They let us fight two bosses, which I thought was crazy, but DK is a must buy. The next video I'm gonna do a video just talking about the price, just giving my overall opinion. I hope y'all stick around, but please enjoy the clip. I'm out of here. This has been your boy Jody. Peace.